Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel ranking here in the channel. Today I would like to stop and take the time to rank all 9 episodes of the What If series, ranked from the worst to the best. Please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list, it was just my list, and you're free to comment down below your ranking of all 9 episodes of the What If series, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now, and also that Marvel playlist up above. And also, yeah, this ranking is long overdue. It's been like a week since the finale came out. Yes, I get it. I was lazy, and also I have a lot of exams, so many exams, but more videos will be coming out, and you know, some stuff are just dropping. Like literally, like DC Fandom happened last Saturday. I've been trying to get my podcast buddies so then we can record trailer breakdowns, and also we can have this ranking out for DC Fandom. That stuff was supposed to be out like Monday, Tuesday. I had a whole list of stuff planned for this week, and it just got pushed back because of my podcast buddies, because they have, you know, lives and stuff like that, and because scheduling just fell through. But with that being said, guys, let's get right into our ranking. Kicking off my list at number 9 for me has got to go to episode 7, What If Thor Was an Only Child? I thought this episode was actually pretty entertaining. We finally get the answer to our question, what if Thor and Captain Marvel fought? Who would come out on top? And the answer is not pretty, mainly because Captain Marvel beats Thor inside of this episode, even though Thor does get the upper hand on her and puts his hammer on her chest, even though it's kind of weird how he's worthy in this version of the MCU, mainly because the spell was put on to Mjolnir because of the fact that Thor and Loki were brothers and Thor did a mistake. But I do enjoy this episode, but it does get to the point where nothing really happened. I love the fact that almost all of the movie characters came back to reprise their roles, but at the same time, I'm just not a big fan of this dumb Thor that they keep trying to portray inside of the MCU. And also, this episode is essentially just the party episode. Teenagers throw a party, and then before the mom comes home, they all have to clean it up. And to that extent, I will say that there is a lot of fun that goes along with that, but in the end, it lacks substance. At number 8 is episode 5, What If Zombies? Zombies was my most anticipated episode to come out of this series. I had the screen saver for Zombie Captain America ever since the series was announced. And yeah, there's some fun elements about it. I love seeing Spider-Man. That's pretty cool. Him referencing Uncle Ben, that's okay. Zombies themselves, that's pretty cool. And I love the darker twist at the end. My main issue here is the fact that the team doesn't really feel sad about their teammates dying. And also, this episode has a lot of tonal issues. Some jokes don't land, and every time one of our team members turn into a zombie and the other one has to kill them, they're basically killing their friend, and then they crack a pun afterwards. It breaks the tension, it's a bad joke, and Marvel has a habit of doing this. At number 7 for me is episode 9, What If the Watcher Broke His Oath? Now, as a finale, I love seeing these characters come together. As a big fan of the Avengers film and also the Arrowverse crossovers, just having a crossover, a multiversal, cataclysmic event crossover with these characters, I'm okay with. I like the fact that we get to see these characters interact, but essentially this finale just highlighted my issues with the series. The fact that the pacing is just super fast inside of this episode is that when the characters come together, alright, let's devise up a plan to take down Ultron. They don't even know each other, they don't have conflicts, they don't butt heads, and I get that. 30 minutes an episode, but at the same time, there has to be some conflict between these characters. At least some battling ideologies on how to stop Ultron. Yes, we have Gamora, who has this device that can take the stones out of Ultron, but really all we needed was just Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange can just 1v1 Ultron and win single-handedly. So overall, the Guardians of the Multiverse coming together was underwhelming at best. At number 6 is episode 1, What If Captain Carter Was the First Avenger? There's a lot of novelty that goes along with this episode. I mean, I love the first Avenger film. I think the first hour of it is some of the greatest stuff to come out of the MCU, and I definitely like the fact that they just exchanged out Steve Rogers and put Peggy Carter in the middle of it, and that's fun, that's interesting. I like the fact that one change just changes the entire trajectory for the MCU going forward. A solid episode inside of this series that I don't really have any big opinions on, other from the fact that the voice acting was very fast paced, the pacing inside this episode was very fast paced, and even though, like I said, the novelty of it is great, but at the end of the day, it was just the first Avenger, but with Peggy Carter instead of Steve Rogers. Kicking off my top 5 list for me has got to go to episode 6, What If Killmonger Saved Tony Stark. This was an episode that I was very much anticipating because of the fact that we finally get to see Tony Stark. I mean, 5 episodes in, Tony Stark has either been killed or just not been in the episode at all. So this episode proves to me why Killmonger is one of the best villains inside of the MCU. He's menacing, he's terrifying, but he's also a mastermind. He is a mastermind in planning. I love the fact that this episode is really just, what if Killmonger executed his plan in Black Panther a little bit earlier? But in this way, he does it a little bit differently by saving Tony Stark, a guy who's a weapons manufacturer, who doesn't really care. He's just a playboy rich guy who, just wants to reap the benefits of, these weapons that he's creating for the military. So I like the fact that they connected these two. I love what they did with the Killmonger character. They never tried to make us sympathize with him. At the end of the day, they made sure that he stayed a villain first and foremost, and I thought that was pretty great. At number 4 for me is episode 2, What If T'Challa Was Star-Lord. Again, another episode just like the first episode where it's just taking one particular character and just switching them out for another. But whereas this one is not just a beat for beat retelling of the first Avenger, this one goes more into the heist themes of the MCU. It's very cool seeing how the Ravagers in the galaxy and even Thanos in particular changes because of the fact that T'Challa is Star-Lord. I love that T'Challa, using his intelligence, using his uniqueness, his courageousness, using all of that, he helps improve the Ravagers and Thanos, and he's able to talk down the Mad Titan from snapping his fingers and killing half of life on Earth. And that just shows how great of a character T'Challa is. It's great to hear Chadwick Boseman's voice again, even though this is the last time we're gonna see his character on screen ever again. And I guess all of the emotion of that kind of brings this episode a little bit higher for me. But there's also some very great emotional moments inside of the episode. But overall, I thought it was a very fun episode. Big improvement on the first episode for me, and that's what roped me into the series even more, was this second episode. Kicking off my top 3 list for me has got to go to episode 8, What If Ultron Won? A very tragic episode for me. This is essentially just Age of Ultron, but if, the heavy hitters of the Avengers all got killed, and there's just worldwide extinction of the human race, and the only 2 people left are Hawkeye and Black Widow. The only 2 humans on the team. And I know a lot of people say that, I don't believe that would ever happen. These are spies. These are super spies. These are assassins. They're able to blend in. They're able to, do things covertly. Captain America, Star-Spangled Man with a plan. Big green monster, a god from space, and a guy with the robotic suit. I think that they made it abundantly clear how the 4 core Avengers all got killed. Ultron is menacing. I love the fact that we get to finally see the Age of Ultron, what Age of Ultron was supposed to be. Though I love the film, I gotta say, this version of Ultron is very cool. Just to see him slice Thanos in half, and overall, a very depressing episode for our characters. We have sacrifices, but we also have glimmers of hope. The tension just keeps rising as we see the Watcher trying to not intervene, but also wants to intervene. I thought all of it was pretty great, and seeing Ultron rise to power was also pretty awesome as well. My runner-up at number 2 is episode 3, What If Earth Lost Its Mightiest Heroes? One of the biggest questions in the MCU is, where do Iron Man 2, Thor, and Incredible Hulk take place? Years ago, Kevin Feige did say that they took place in the same week. Well, that week is this episode, and I love the fact that they actually show Monday he was dealing with Iron Man, Tuesday he was dealing with Thor, Wednesday he was dealing with Hulk, and I like the fact that they all kind of connect through each other. This entire episode is a murder mystery, and for me, I thought the reveal at the end was satisfying, but also pretty terrifying at the same time, that it was Hank Pym all along. They decided to go for a more darker route with the story. They went with more suspense and more tension, and I think it worked out for the better here. Just seeing the Avengers die essentially one by one, but also just traversing through the Phase 1 films again. I thought the novelty of that was pretty fun. And let me just say, Lake Bell as Black Widow, even though I love Scarlett Johansson, Lake Bell's voice as Black Widow is so amazing in this series. And I love her from the Harley Quinn series, but she is amazing as Black Widow in this series. But coming in at my number one for me has got to go to episode 4. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? I felt sick after watching this episode. I remember watching it when it first dropped, and though I did fall asleep on it, when I woke up, a couple hours later, I rewatched it, and I felt sick after watching it. Only because of the fact that it's just so depressing. It's dark. It is tragic. Where it's a man battling his grief, and there's a fixed point in time where his heart, the love of his life, dies in order for him to become Doctor Strange. I think that that's amazing. I think that that's amazing storytelling. And the episode is like 35, 38, 39 minutes, close to 40 minutes, which is a perfect runtime for me, that they can show this evolution of his grief taking over him, and for him to become Doctor Strange Supreme in the end, because there is a fixed point of reality that in order for Doctor Strange and for the universe to survive, his heart, the love of his life, has to die. And the last shot of the episode is something great for me. It's seeing Stephen Strange in agony, depressed, and alone. This episode wasn't something I expected from What If, but I never knew how much I wanted more mature storytelling until I saw this episode. This is why episode 4 has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video is just my very own opinion, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of all 9 episodes of the What If series from Disney Plus, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Sorry the ranking took so long. Again, laziness. I was lazy. I had everything ready, up and ready to go. I was just being lazy and I didn't really want to record. But tomorrow, Titans season finale review. After that, Titans season's rank. I promise you guys those videos will be out. But you gotta understand, exams. I have a lot of exams. I got a lot of tests coming up. But like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter. It's gonna pop up on your screen right now, and also that Marvel playlist. That link is down in the description. That being said, I will see you all next time. Peace.